Hi YouTube, this is video number 27 of my 30-day post to YouTube challenge. And today I'm in my studio. As you guys can see, I have my headphones on and I'm talking on my big microphone. Haven't done that in a while, and what I'm doing today is doing this video, and at the same time I am creating content for Juneteenth, because today is Juneteenth 2024, and I've compiled a list of notable African Americans in Black history, and I'm gonna call these names off, and hopefully I can add some music to the list of names. So I want to make a list of notable people who I know of, and hopefully I can educate you all in the process of producing this video. So I'm going to be reading names of people who you all may or may not know, and if you don't know the names, go and research it and learn who they are, because I'm not going to go into detail about who they are, but I'm putting the names out there so you all can do your own research and study who these people were, who our ancestors are, and who are the people who paved the way for us in American history, in American life as we know it today. These people paved the way for us. So hopefully you'll learn something from this video. I'm producing it because I really want it to be somewhat poetic. So it's a list of 40 individuals who I've identified as being people who are influential, who had a major impact on our culture, African American culture in America today. And so I'm going to use my Rode microphone to record it, and that way I can record it to a track and overlay some music over it. So that's what I plan on doing today. I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you all on the next video. Happy Juneteenth! Okay, so here I go. I'm going to call off the names in no particular order. I started out the list from, I think, the beginning, from African Americans who were born into slavery up until the 21st century, which is current. So they're, again, in no particular order per se. I started it out that way, but it didn't end that way. So here I go. I'm going to do them, and I'm going to pace myself so that it can sound a little poetic. That's the goal. So I can make a track. I'm just trying something different, you guys. This is things that I love. I love African American history. I love editing. I love our ancestors. I love everything Black. So here I go. And so you'll see and you'll hear me. Let me just turn the camera around before I get started so you guys can see exactly the system that I'm using to record my track, and what I started out using for my podcast before I did the video podcast. When I was doing just audio, this is the system that I used when I started on my podcast journey. So this is a little bit behind the scenes. So hold on, and I'll show you guys my system, and then I'll get started on calling off the names. Okay, so that is the Rode microphone. Not the microphone. So, okay, so that is the Roadcaster Pro II. I bought this system about a year and a half ago, I think. Maybe about a year ago. I'm not sure, but yeah, about a year and a half ago, because I remember a year ago I started my podcast, so it had to be a little over a year ago. And that's what I use to record tracks, and I use this system to create the intro for my podcast. So I really love this system. Right now it's not being utilized as often as I would like it to be. This is the Rode microphone. This is this is the mic that I use when I'm recording my tracks, you guys, right? And then I have my headphones on so I can hear so I have my headphones on so I can hear myself when I play it back. And then I have the DJI wireless mic, and that's what I'm recording on this phone. So I'm using my cell phone to record. I have a iPhone 14 Pro Max is what I'm using, and I'm sorry the camera's shaking, but I had picked it up in order to show you guys the Roadcaster. So I'm getting ready to start. So give me a second. Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass, Phyllis Wheatley, Ida B. Wells. Okay, so there. But I don't like the way I said Angela Davis's name. So I have to do the whole thing all over again because I don't want it to sound like I'm reading a list, but I am reading a list. And so when I got to the end and said Angela Davis, I said Angela Davis. I should have just said Angela Davis and ended it, but I said Angela Davis as if I'm ending a list, and I don't want it to sound like that because it's not going to sound right on the music track. So now I got to start all over. Yes, I have to read it all over. This is work. This is what I do. Hopefully this is the last time I'm reading it, right? But when you're doing voiceover and you're reading, and when you're editing, you're trying to produce something, you have to do it until it's like perfect. Honestly, it has to be perfect. And so I guess that doesn't make me a perfectionist. That's just making sure that I have it right because it has to sound right. So I'm going to read it over, you guys. Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass, Phyllis Wheatley, Ida B. Wells, Harriet Tubman. Sound like I'm going down the list again. Frederick Douglass, Phyllis Wheatley, Ida B. Wells, Harriet Tubman, Benjamin Banneker, Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass, Phyllis Wheatley, Ida B. Wells, Harriet Tubman, not a wrinkle. Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass, Phyllis Wheatley, Ida B. Wells, Harriet Tubman. I didn't like that. Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass, Phyllis Wheatley, Ida B. Wells, Harriet Tubman, Benjamin Banneker, Booker T. Washington, W.E.B. Du Bois, George Washington Carver, Carter G. Woodson, Mary McLeod Bethune, Dred Scott, Bobby Seale, Fred Hampton, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., the Honorable Thurgood Marshall, Huey P. Newton, A. Philip Randolph, Bayard Rustin, Coretta Scott King, Rosa Parks, President Barack Obama, Barbara Jordan, Shirley Chisholm, Fannie Lou Hamer, Medgar Evers, Toni Morrison, James Baldwin, the Angola Three, Herman Wallace, Robert King, and Albert Woodfox, Nikki Giovanni, Sonia Sanchez, Marcus Garvey, Eldridge Cleaver, Stokely Carmichael, H. Rap Brown, Maya Angelou, Elaine Brown, Amiri Baraka, Angela Davis. That was a little better. Okay, so there you go. I might do it again. I probably will before I lay music to it, but I just wanted to show you guys on my YouTube channel some of the things that I do besides like my content every day. This is video number 27 and I'm tired. It's really, really challenging to consistently post to YouTube. 30-day commitment for consecutive days in a row probably was a bit much. I didn't realize it had to be planned out. That's one thing I didn't take into consideration. I was just kind of posting things on the fly. And when you do it that way, you run out of ideas, right? If you don't plan it. So that's the one thing that I learned. That's a lesson that I learned during this entire process. And I think I'm going to do a follow-up, like a recap of my 30-day challenge so you guys can get a better sense of the challenges and what you're up against and how, I'm not going to say it's like difficult, but it's a commitment. It's definitely a commitment, which makes it a challenge. So I'm almost there. video number 27 on, I'm honoring Juneteenth today, right? Look at my shirt, you guys. This is my, what I wanted to wear today to honor the holiday, because I was off from work today and I'm in my studio, and most of the day I've been doing things. I've been posting to my Instagram and to my TikTok channels. I have a TikTok page called Today in Black History. It's the number 2, Today in Black History. And I haven't posted on there in a while, but I did today. And I think TikTok, that's a whole nother story. We're not going there. But okay, so that's it for this video for today. My Juneteenth special video number 27. I hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful Juneteenth. I hope you honored the holiday. I'm getting ready to go to an event, which is a reading for a reading of a play that I attended some months ago called The Angola Three. And I call those gentlemen's names out on my list. So if you've never heard of The Angola Three, you might want to look them up as well. There were political prisoners in Angola State Penitentiary in Louisiana. And one of them, Albert Woodfox, was the longest. He stayed in solitary. These 3 gentlemen stayed in solitary confinement for decades. And Albert Woodfox held the record for the longest stay in solitary confinement. So you can go and research who they are. But I'm going to a reading at Baldwin and Company, which is a coffee and bookstore in New Orleans. And I was invited there for the reading for Juneteenth. And I'm going to go because why not? Right? It's Juneteenth. I love our history. I love those 3 gentlemen. And that's what I'm doing. You guys, you have an amazing the rest of your day. And I will see you guys on the next video.
I look like a bag of money I'm on. They wanna know what I'm on. Got diamonds dancing on my neck. That is the vibe I'm on. Drip way too lit. Who gon' check? You can tell me none.